Approximately 25,000 years ago, after the fall of the Atlantis, we decided on a mass consciousness level to experience physicality with the perceived separation from source. This was the fall as described in the Bible. With perceived separation from each other and source came the possibility of doing harm to perceived separated others. This gave birth to the polarity game of good versus evil, eating from the tree of knowledge, or should we say the tree of ignorance, which has been playing out ever since. A lot of souls incarnating in the many cycles of negativity on this planet are remnants from the ancient Orion Empire conflict. The Orion Empire was an extremely oppressive and totalitarian regime, and the Star Wars movies are based on our collective intuitive memory of that time. The pyramids in Giza align with the stars in the Orion's belt as a reminder of our ancient past, and the Earth game is basically the last karmic wrap-up of this grand adventure. As humanity descended deeper and deeper into negativity and victim/abuser consciousness, we attracted the 4D service to self astral archon hierarchy. This is a hive mind parasitic entity consisting of many levels of negative astral beings which feed off of humanity's negative and distorted emotions. Humanity became a farm animal for this demonic 4D life form, not unlike how humans are grown in crops for their energy in the Matrix movie. Paranoid schizophrenics and clairvoyant people can perceive the archons directly. Schizophrenics will hear the voices of the lower level foot soldier archons, which are consistently extremely negative and trying to get them to do negative stuff. The archons will help and even temporarily energize those who are willing to do their bidding. And by do their bidding, I mean generate loosh, which is their negative emotional source of food. Schizophrenic drug addicts will many times be told which house it's safe to break into and how to escape police and similar things. This is also true on the macro level, as the negative planetary rulers have been serving this hive mind beast entity for a long time under different names. It's a symbiotic relationship. The negative Luciferian rulers create mass-scale negativity which feed the Archon beast, while the Archon beast in turn assist the dark rulers in increasing their worldly power and influence. This is done by directing the creative attention of the bulk of humanity in an artificially created negative downward spiral. This is also partly the reason for all the symbolism and the revealing of plans in a semi-hidden way. The Archons can operate most efficiently and safely for them when their victims believe the voices are their own thoughts. The same goes for the Luciferian rulers. Their approach must fly under the radar of most of humanity to work efficiently and safely for them. In other words, billions of humans with their immense collective creative power must be led to believe that there is no other focus or choice than the path that the rulers want. It's like a horse with eye cover and the shadow of the whip moving it along towards a fake dangling carrot in front. As QAnon says, what they fear the most is mass awakening. The rulers harness the creative human potential for their own sinister purpose via the negative propaganda matrix they have in place. They want to make us subconsciously feel that what they are up to is inevitable and just the way things are. The Archons will always especially target key institutions, countries and individuals of influence and power, for example the media and Hollywood and so forth, which is why power tends to corrupt. Every previous attempt at overthrowing the negative rulers were little else than an Archon feeding frenzy that rearranged the chairs on the deck of the Titanic. This is a very important point to grasp, as lasting change requires a different kind of approach altogether. The counter-plan of the light forces is not one of resistance, as many 3D-oriented people believe. Instead, it's directing the creative focus of critical mass of humanity in the 180-degree opposite direction of what the dark rulers have in mind. Anyone hearing this is part of that plan, even if you don't seemingly do anything special at this time. This plan is something we are all being guided into by simply acting on our highest excitement with zero insistence on the outcome. And it will not make logical sense or come into visible fruition for a while yet. A painter will many times paint his picture a little bit here and a little bit there, and suddenly a beautiful landscape can be seen to take form. This is how the higher plan of the light forces will play out on a global scale in the years ahead. This is above and beyond the plan as referred to by the QAnon movement, although that is certainly also a part of it. A lot of people have been prepared for different roles in the times ahead, and more direct guidance from ET/higher mind level will begin to happen as we pass through this eye of the needle virus isolation internal cleansing period. By this I mean direct telepathic communication with our own higher minds and or with ET beings of benevolent nature, something that already happened to me a while back. This might not happen for everyone at first, as certain key people will probably be prioritized. The plan of the light will begin to unfold in earnest in the years ahead, and it will become more and more visible and obvious as it attracts more and more people and momentum. The dark plan is going against the grain of the natural upward spiral, which requires a lot of force on their part. It's like trying to hold a massive balloon underwater. One mistake and the whole thing bursts quickly to the surface. This is why the plan of the light will succeed. And it's also why it will manifest a lot quicker than many people think possible as it looks now. It's critical at this time to disengage from getting too much into what the dark planners are doing, like all the conspiracy stuff. Disengage from all worldly drama, as nothing is what it seems anyway. Stop resisting and pushing against anything and simply allow it all to play out. Keep yourself informed, but do not try to save or convince others unless they ask you first. Any kind of resistance is not only unnecessary, it only serves the dark plan and goes against the grand light plan. Relax and take it day by day and be part of the new paradigm that is about to emerge through all of us.